Love isn't an accident. You ever wonder why love feels so unpredictable? One moment, it sweeps you off your feet. The next, it slips right through your hands. Most people think love is a mystery, a storm that just happens. But here's the truth no one tells you. Love is not an accident. It's an architecture. History's greatest lovers knew this. They didn't just wait for luck or fate. They built attraction step by step, long before modern science could even explain why it worked. And today, psychology has confirmed what they already knew. Real love is made of pillars. Without passion, it feels like friendship. Without intimacy, it feels shallow. Without commitment, it falls apart. And without growth and freedom, it suffocates. That's why so many people get stuck. They think chemistry alone will keep someone. But chemistry fades. And when it does, you're left wondering, what happened? The wake-up call is this. If you don't understand the structure of love, you'll keep repeating the same heartbreaks. But when you do, you stop chasing. You stop leaving it up to chance. And you start becoming the kind of person that love can't ignore. In this video, I'll show you the 5 pillars of love, the science, the psychology, and the timeless truths that keep passion alive and make relationships last. Because love doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the intentional. Part 1. Passion, the spark of love. Every love story begins with passion, not commitment, not deep emotional bonds, but that first spark, the mystery that pulls two people toward each other. Think about it. What makes someone unforgettable? It's rarely the words they say. It's often what they choose not to say. A glance held a second too long. A silence that leaves you wondering. That's the power of mystery. When you don't reveal everything at once, you awaken the imagination, and the mind always fills mystery with desire. Science proves this. Our brains are wired for curiosity. When there's no puzzle to solve, no intrigue, interest fades fast. But when you hint instead of confess, when you say, "The last few days have felt strangely quiet," instead of "I missed you," suddenly, you create space for longing. And here's another truth. We're drawn to contradictions. A man who looks powerful, yet laughs like a kid. A woman who seems innocent, yet carries danger in her eyes. These contradictions confuse the brain in the best way possible. They make you impossible to label, impossible to forget. And passion isn't only in words, it's in space. Getting closer without crossing boundaries. A whisper near the ear. A pause before the touch. That tension is electricity. It's not about rushing in. It's about holding back, letting desire build. Because passion is never loud. It's the quiet spark, the subtle game of curiosity that makes someone think of you long after you've left the room. Part 2. Intimacy, the emotional bond. Passion opens the door, but intimacy is what keeps someone from walking away. Here's the mistake most people make. They get stuck in surface-level talk. What do you do for a living? Where are you from? Those questions build facts, but not feelings. Real intimacy begins when you go deeper, when you share your fears, your doubts, your scars. And here's the paradox. What we're most afraid to reveal is exactly what creates the strongest bond. Think about the last time someone told you a personal story. Not a highlight reel, not an achievement, but a moment of vulnerability. Didn't it make you feel closer to them? Didn't it make you want to open up too? Science backs this up. Studies show that sharing negative emotions, fear, frustration, even heartbreak, creates more intimacy than talking about joy alone. Why? Because when you reveal your pain, you invite the other person to step into the silence with their own truth. And in that silence, trust begins. But intimacy isn't only words, it's body language. A steady gaze that says, "I see you." An open posture that says, "I'm safe." Micro-expressions, tiny flashes of empathy that say, "I understand." Over half of human connection happens without a single word spoken. So here's the wake-up call. If you only talk facts, you'll stay a stranger. But if you dare to share what's real, you create a bond that can't be faked. Intimacy isn't about saying more. It's about revealing more. Part 3. Commitment, becoming the most valuable choice. Passion makes sparks. Intimacy builds a bond, but without commitment, love doesn't last. Commitment isn't just saying, "I'm here." It's making someone feel, deep down, that out of all the options out there, you are the most valuable one. Think about this. When was the last time you felt truly chosen? Not because someone had no better options, but because they saw something in you that no one else could offer. That feeling, that's commitment. History proves it too. Kierkegaard wrote of using contrast, standing next to someone less engaging, so his brilliance shined brighter. Manipulative? Maybe, but the principle is timeless. Comparison reveals value. Here's the truth. People don't fall for perfect. They fall for someone who meets their unmet needs. The dreamer who longs for someone to believe in their vision. The overthinker who craves peace. The beauty who's tired of being valued only for looks, and finally feels seen for her mind. When you understand what someone is missing, and you become the answer, you stop being replaceable. But don't miss this. Science reminds us that attraction isn't only emotional, it's multisensory. Your voice, your scent, your posture, the way you move through space. All of it communicates value more than words ever could. And yes, commitment also means sexual compatibility. You can connect on every level emotionally, but if the body doesn't respond, the bond cracks. Real love demands both. So here's the wake-up call. Commitment isn't about chaining someone to you. It's about becoming so aligned with who they need that choosing you feels inevitable. Part 4. Growth together. The journey that keeps love alive. Here's a truth most people never see coming. Love doesn't die because of lack of passion. It doesn't fade because of lack of intimacy. It dies when it stops growing. Think about it. A relationship standing still is already moving backwards. The couples that last aren't the ones who avoid problems. They're the ones who evolve together. Science calls this the self-expansion theory. In simple terms, we're wired to grow, to learn, to expand. And when you do that with your partner, when you take on new challenges, learn new skills, or explore the unknown side by side, you don't just grow as individuals, you grow as a unit. Remember the last time you traveled with someone? Or tried something new together, dancing, cooking, even starting a small project? The excitement, the laughter, even the struggle, it made you feel alive again, didn't it? That's not an accident. Novelty fuels dopamine, the same chemical that lights up during the honeymoon phase. Which means growth is how you keep passion alive long after the first spark. Here's the wake-up call. If your relationship feels stagnant, it's not always about love being gone. Sometimes it's about adventure being gone. So ask yourself, what's the next mountain we can climb together? What's the next chapter we can write side by side? Because love that grows lasts. And when you create a journey worth walking together, leaving is no longer an option. Part 5. Individual freedom. The space that protects love. Here's the paradox no one talks about. For love to last, you can't just be close. You also need space. Most people think intimacy means being together every second, sharing everything. No secrets, no distance. But here's the hard truth. When you smother love, you kill desire. Real relationships are built on freedom. Two complete people choosing each other, not needing each other. And that choice is what makes it powerful. Think about the couples you admire most. They're not glued at the hip. They have their own lives, their own passions, their own circles. And that independence actually keeps the attraction alive. Why? Because when you're apart, curiosity grows, desire builds. And when you come back together, the fire reignites. Science even calls this the paradox of desire. We crave closeness, but we're also drawn to mystery. If everything is predictable, if every moment is shared, the brain stops craving. So here's the wake-up call. Protect your individuality. Keep chasing your goals. Nurture your hobbies. Spend time with friends who inspire you. And respect your partner's freedom to do the same. Because love isn't about possession. It's about appreciation. It's not about holding tighter. It's about holding space. And when two people stand strong on their own, their choice to stand together becomes unstoppable. The architecture of lasting love. So here's the truth. Passion ignites the spark. Intimacy weaves the bond. Commitment makes you the choice. Growth keeps love alive, and freedom protects it from suffocating. Love isn't a mystery anymore. It's a structure, a design, a living architecture that either gets built step by step or crumbles when neglected. Most people never learn this. They chase chemistry, they rely on luck, and then they wonder why their relationships feel like sand slipping through their fingers. But you don't have to keep repeating the same story, because once you understand these 5 pillars, you can stop playing the guessing game. You can stop begging for love to stay. Instead, you become the kind of person who naturally attracts it and naturally keeps it. So ask yourself right now, which pillar is missing in your life? Is it passion, the spark you've stopped igniting? Intimacy, the depth you're afraid to share? Commitment, the courage to choose and be chosen? Growth, the willingness to evolve together? Or freedom, the space that makes desire last? Because love isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. And when you build it on the right foundation, love doesn't just find you, it stays with you. If this message hit home, hit that like button, subscribe for more hard truths about love and life, and share this video with someone who needs it. And tell me in the comments, which of the 5 pillars do you need to work on most? Because remember, love doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the intentional.